How to challenge me? Impossible. Well, frankly, terrible. You have to be a sub to challenge me, and you're not a sub. I am Calgreasy. I'm a sub. No, you have to be a sub on Twitch, not on YouTube. And they have more games memorized in their intuition. Arctic Bear, what's your first language? Oh, snap. No, Karpov calculated better than my auntie. He was more like an uncle calculator. English is my second. Well, make it your third. I'm McSquizzy. I'm a sub. People who say they're subs, you must be voting for Trump because you're saying things that aren't true. You have to be a Twitch sub. Do you think they should have played forever in 1984? Well, they shouldn't have stopped the match. Kasparov just won 2 games in a row. You stop the match during the draw spree, not when Karpov is collapsing. He's eyes without a face. Got no human grace. Oh, I didn't see bishop f1. I only saw bishop f5. I keep missing bishop f1. That's not a move I should miss. Stop being confused. Can YouTube members play out of curiosity? No. Karen said no. She overrules whatever I think, which I think is yes. So I'm throwing Karen under the bus. But she does all the business decisions. I'm just the pretty face. You can see why we're losing subs every day. And now I will play the greatest combination ever witnessed by any being, man, woman, or beast. Thanks, Calgreasy, for subscribing. I can tell a Karpov story. Hey, it says I made 0 castling, long castling. I did 0, 0, 0, and I castled kingside. That's pretty good. So my favorite Karpov story, and this is a 2-parter. I was in Tilburg watching the tournament, and Karpov was playing Kasparov, and it was like the greatest game ever. And it was going to end in a minute. Kasparov was going to win. Karpov was going to resign. So I had a press pass. So I was allowed full access. So there were 2 Skittles rooms. Each Skittles room had 2 chessboards in them. because there were 8 players in the tournament. So on the off chance all the games ended at a similar time, all 8 players could analyze their games with each other. So I wanted to watch Karpov and Kasparov analyze their game. So before their game ended, but it was going to end soon, I went into one Skittles room and I threw all the pieces on the floor and the boards. So it was disgusting. And then I closed the door. Then I went in the other Skittles room. I took one chess set, put it on the floor. The other chess set, I brought a chair and pulled up right next to the table. About 5 or 6 minutes later, Karpov and Kasparov walk in, and they sit next to me. And 100 billion people followed them in. It was a small room, too. People were standing on chairs, standing on shoulders, people with chairs, the shoulders of giants. And I just sat right there. Like, Karpov was like here. Or maybe it was Kasparov. I don't remember who I sat next to. I think it was Karpov. Anyway, so they analyzed their game. I watched them analyze the game. Nobody said anything. All the reporters, press, GM, there were a lot of GMs in the room. They didn't say, hey, why didn't you go here? They didn't say shit. And at one point, Spielman said something, but Kasparov's like, terrible. And then that was it. Then they analyzed. During the analysis session, Kasparov did at least 95% of the talking. Karpov said almost nothing, and Karpov lost. While they were analyzing, I was curious about a variation, but I didn't say anything. And I ended up annotating the game for Chess Life magazine, and my notes were really good because I watched Karpov and Kasparov analyze. The next day, I was chilling, which was the style in the 80s. And although it might have been 1990, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm chilling, and I noticed Karpov is in a room by himself with a chessboard writing notes for the Informator. And I went up to him, and I said, hey, I saw you guys analyze yesterday, and I had a question. In this position, and I just said what the position was after like some move. Kasparov said like here and there and whatever. But after this move, Kasparov suggested, can't you go here? And I knew I was right, but I didn't say anything. But I thought about it for a long time. And Karpov said, no, if I go there, then, and then he spouted off some like 13 move variation. So even though he said almost nothing during the analysis, he was keeping it all in his head. He wasn't telling Kasparov. And I was like, oh. And the only other interaction I had with Karpov was I took him and Yasser out to dinner about 10 years ago in St. Louis when they played a match against each other. And they could drink those beers. I didn't realize Karpov was such a beer drinker. But they both had at least 3 beers at dinner. And they were talking about FIDE and such. I said almost nothing. I asked Karpov, why are you worse than you used to be? What is it about age that makes you worse? And he said, I understand chess the same as I always have, but lack of energy. The energy's gone. So you can't be at full energy the whole game, and that makes you play worse. So then he said the truth hurts. And there was this really large black woman sitting behind us eating at the restaurant. And when Karpov said the truth hurts, she wrote something down. I don't know who that woman was, but she was impressed by this saying the truth hurts.